If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in downtown Las Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Busy hour coming up. More on tonight's schedule in the playoffs. Dennis Bernstein on the NHL in 30 minutes. In-pocket plays to close up shop. And here we head out to the Progressive guest line as Adam Hill joins the program. Does a great job covering the Las Vegas Raiders for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Adam, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm good. Just ready for another long night here at the team facility out in Henderson. Wish I was down hanging with you guys at the stadium swim yesterday. It looked like a good time.
Well, yesterday was fun, but last night had to be pretty cool as well. I mean, you did a mock draft as well. You had Genty going to the Bears, actually trading up to number 5 overall, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So what was Genty the pick all along for the Raiders, or did that completely change once Jacksonville moved up to number 2 and the Browns were then picking at number 5?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had several contingencies, as any good team does, for sure. I think that there was certainly some concern that either the Jaguars would take him because, it seemed like the Jaguars wanted a difference maker, a playmaker that they could bring in. So I think there was some concern they would take him. But I feel like once the Jaguars moved up, it was pretty solidified that Ashton Genty was going to be the guy for them. It didn't sound like that going into the draft. I think the last couple of days, they felt like it was way too obvious that they were leaning toward Ashton Genty. So they kind of started to send out some signals that maybe they weren't. Maybe they're going a different direction. There's certainly some talk of offensive line the last couple of days, maybe to just throw everybody off the scent. But to me, I thought Genty was going to go because I thought some team was going to move up ahead of the Raiders to take him. And I think the Jaguars probably would have traded down if they couldn't move up in that draft. If they couldn't have got to 2, I think they might have traded down, maybe even to the Bears, somebody like that, and gone with Ashton Genty. But it turned out the Raiders had him available. I do still feel like, everybody around here obviously forever will say Ashton Genty was always the pick no matter what. I feel like if Mason Graham was also on the clock, it would have been a different or difficult decision, even if they had Ashton Genty as the guy, even if they said, hey, he's on our board, he's the number 1 guy, we're going to take him. I think when it actually comes down to being on the clock, you look at a difference-making defensive tackle and a difference-making running back, you almost have to take the defensive tackle in that situation. But when it comes down to running back, who could be a generational type player, a lot of people believe that, or an offensive tackle who maybe has some question marks like Banks, like Membu. Membu only playing really on the right side. Banks, there were some questions too. If you don't feel like they are slam dunk home runs, I understand why you pivot away and go running back. I would never take a running back in the top 10. It just wouldn't happen if I was running an organization. But you understand why this was a pretty unique situation for the Raiders to be in, where it kind of superseded positional value and opportunity cost and roster construction and all those things.
Was the bank stuff then just a smokescreen? Because his odds were plummeting throughout the day, went off odds on when our show ended, but also, and you're very good on Twitter, right? Pete Carroll sends out the signals. He did that like in the clues that he did with Seattle. And you immediately notice, like, okay, there's a Will Smith thing. Well, that's the Banks family. And then
there's the standoff.
Look, the floor is yours. You can crush Pauly. I hope that you would actually just like swing for the fences here. He's still never seen the show The Office. But the second one was like the Texas standoff. And you're like, it's got to be Banks. Man. So that was it.
It's Seinfeld, it's Curb, and it's The Office.
Really?
That's the 3 shows. So okay. 3 shows. I'm not even putting it in order. I'm saying those are the 3 shows. That you have to watch.
How many seasons? That's the thing. I'm like, oh boy, I got to watch. Isn't it like 12 seasons or something?
No, it's 9. But I'll tell you this: you can probably cut it off after 5 or 6.
Yes, correct.
Oh, all right. Okay, go ahead.
I'll watch the old episodes, but once Steve Carell leaves, especially, you can tap out if you want. So you can just get through those. Phenomenal television, Pauly, you should jump into. So Pete Carroll, for those that don't know, and we haven't I'll offer another caveat at the end. Pete Carroll throughout the years has done a Twitter clue, kind of a scavenger hunt of who the team is going to pick. He's been with the Seahawks in the past. There's some pretty good ones. He posted like 6 random photos. Was it the year they took Devin Witherspoon? He posted like 6 random photos on Twitter throughout the day, and people were like, "This makes no sense. There's no connection. What is he even doing?" And then they took Devin Witherspoon, and everybody said, "Oh, these are 6 people that have starred in a movie with Reese Witherspoon." Like, okay, he was telling us all along he's taking Devin Witherspoon, but there's really no connection until you find out who the pick is. So Pete Carroll picked up that tradition again yesterday, threw out a bunch of tweets. I know there was a big movement when it looked like everything was leaning toward Kelvin Banks in those tweets, but 2 things. One, I don't think Pete Carroll runs that himself. I think that he has somebody that runs his Twitter account for him. I heard it was somebody in his family, maybe his daughter, that runs his social media. So it's kind of tough to ask him, like, hey, what do these tweets mean? When I don't think he necessarily even knows. So that's one part of it. And the other part, like, I do believe he leaves some things intentionally vague enough that if they don't end up getting their guy, because there's no guarantee you're going to get the person that you're indicating in these tweets.
Sure.
I think he leaves it vague enough that he could change it and say, oh, this is what I meant by that. And maybe change up the narrative a little bit. But yeah, he definitely moved some numbers yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
With some of those tweets. There's no question about it.
Okay, so today, 5th pick, 37th overall. You've been on this for years, and we think alike. Don't win meaningless games down the stretch and blow your draft pick.
No.
And so, but this happened again. They do it every year. But the talk going back to December and January was tank, get Sanders, finally get a quarterback, let's go. So with the Brady influence, even the president's upset getting involved here about how come no one took Sanders. Could this happen now at pick 37? What's the game plan? Walk us through it.
Well, so here's the thing. I would start by saying, I think, and I talked a lot about roster building and positional value and stuff yesterday, and I've done this a lot, and fans are furious with me. I think taking a running back in the first round means you no longer have the luxury of taking a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
At least in the first 2 or 3 rounds, right? I mean, you've got so many holes to fill. You use it on a running back, which is a great player. I think Ashton Jennings might be the best player in the draft, but because it's not a position of value, you can't use now a pick on a backup quarterback that's not going to play for a while. I mean, unless you have him off the charts ahead of everybody else, or unless Tom Brady says, hey, that's my guy, signed him to an NIL deal, worked out with Deion Sanders worked out with Shador and Deion for so long. Like, we have to take him. I mean, if that happens, then I guess all bets are off. But I think from a value standpoint, you can't use a pick on a backup quarterback now. Now, they don't have to care about value. They didn't yesterday by taking a running back. So maybe they don't care about that at all. But I think this was put, and I'll give credit to somebody who pointed this out on Twitter, because it just enlightened me so much to say, oh, yeah, that's what's going on here. Like, this is not a team. In my mind, you should play for the future, try to build a championship contender for 3-4 years from now. That should be your goal with every move. And it was Kevin Cole, really good analytics guy on Twitter, who said the Raiders have played this entire offseason like a team that wants to make sure their floor is not as low as it has been in the past. Like, they want to raise their floor. And that is how they're taking care. That's every decision they've made is to make sure they're not like a 4-13 team. Like, they're trying to absolutely make sure that they're a 7-10 team instead of a 4-13 team. And on the surface, I think that's incredibly silly and short-sighted. And why would you do that? But I think there is part of me thinking, okay, maybe this is the wise thing to do. What Pete Carroll is here to do is build a foundation, build something that hasn't been here before. They haven't had any winning culture. They haven't had any winning tradition. Obviously, Pete Carroll's not here for 10 years. And so instead of, hey, let's go all in to try to win everything and say 3-4 years from now, it's, hey, let's show that we can win consistently. Let's show that we can be a 7-win team, then a 9-win team, and then build it up like that. And I think when you look at that perspective, that kind of changes a lot of what they're doing. So I think they do need to find somebody that is going to be an impact player like this year, kind of help them out and try to win some games, because that does seem to be what they're doing. They're trying to make sure that they're 7-10 instead of 4-13, which, again, I don't think that's the way I would do it, but it's pretty clear that's what they're doing.
Yeah, well, what do you make of the current odds right now then? Because the Raiders are picking 5th tonight in the second round. That's 37th overall in the draft. And at FanDuel, and this has shifted, Adam, since the beginning of our show, but the Raiders are now minus 220 to take Shador Sanders. The Browns are sitting there at picks number 33 overall and 36, so they're picking 1st and 4th tonight. They're plus 220, and the odds go down from that. Steelers are plus 280. Then it gets into the Saints, the Jets, the Rams, and so on and so forth. Any thought on any of those numbers or teams there outside of the Raiders?
I feel like the Browns kind of need to have a quarterback at some point. I feel like there's a good reason the Raiders are connected to Shedeur for all the reasons that it has been in the past, and I kind of referenced it, but the fact that, when Tom Brady had a company or when he started his company, his first NIL deal that he signed was with Shedeur. He's always been a Sanders guy. Like, all of these things make sense that he would come here. But look, every team had a chance on him yesterday and passed. And I think there's reasons why they have passed. I don't think it's wrong that the Raiders are favored in this situation, but I really don't see it happening with this pick. I mean, who knows? We're going to get off the air here and run back in and see what they do, and I'll get a text and say they're taking Shedeur Sanders, and that'd be wild to me. And like I said, I think yesterday disqualified them from taking a backup quarterback in the first 3 rounds because they just don't have the capital. They need the starters. But you never know. I wouldn't think they'd take a running back either, and they did. So it's crazy, but they could do it. I understand why they're the favorite. I just don't see it.
Fair enough. Adam, we have about a minute left here. You also cover the Golden Knights. They're in a hole now, big time against the Wild. Would you bet on the Golden Knights to come back and win this series?
So they're right around pick'em now, right? I heard they're maybe minus 105.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it's the worst idea. They've done a lot of this themselves. The Wild have been good, but the Golden Knights have just really, really shot themselves in the foot a lot, particularly some of the defensemen. I don't think that happens again. I think they tighten up, they stiffen up their game a little bit, and I think it's a much different effort tomorrow. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but I think they bounce back and win, and at that point, they'd be a pretty big favorite in the series, so I think there could be some value there.
All right, there you go. You can follow Adam on X. He's at Adam Hill, LVRJ. You can read him as well in the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Enjoy round 2 tonight at the Raiders facility, my man.
Oh, yeah, and 3, don't forget. Fun night.
And there you go, the whole night. Yep. He's spot on with that. Don't forget about round 3 as well. Okay, follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Pauly, we will get into the NBA and the NHL schedule up next. Here we go again. Big differences in the first quarter and first half numbers pretty much across the board. We'll detail it for you coming up here on VSiN.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Strong night tonight again, playoffs, NBA, and the NHL. Get to that in a second. The Cubs lead the Phillies 3-0, bottom of 5. Paul, the Chicago Cubs are now 18-4-3 in the first 5 since they dropped their first 2 to the Dodgers in Tokyo. Let me repeat that. 18-4-3 in the first 5. Holy smokes.
Strong numbers.
That is one hell of a run.
A hell of a team. Absolutely. How about going back to the Schefter report about it could be a team out of nowhere? How about the Miami Dolphins to take Sanders 30-1? You mentioned the Colts. You threw some teams out there.
Yeah.
30-1? The lifestyle, South Beach, a quarterback who's always hurt, concussions. The bright lights.
I just think they need so much help. They didn't go offensive line in the first round, and they absolutely have to get some to help out.
Yeah. Also, while we've been on the air, a big move on the Celtics. Celtics from 3.5 up to 5 everywhere. And at Will Hill Caesars, 1. Orlando only getting 1 in the first half, even though the spread's 5.
I see. Again, this is all over the map.
Yep.
FanDuel's pitching 3.5 out there.
They are the one place taking a stand.
Yes, they are.
DraftKings also has the same number
in all these games.
Yes,
we got to monitor this and see how it goes over the weekend.
Yep.
For example, the other game, the Bucks Pacers. At some shops, this is like an NFL game late in the season, right? When you
starter's only going to play a half.
There you go, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
The halftime number might be bigger than the full game number. Bucks are 5 for the game. They're 5 for the first half at Caesars. They're 3.5 at FanDuel. The Well, they took some money on the Thunder because FanDuel had Oklahoma City favored at the half by 10.5. Every other book was 8. But now they moved it to 9.5. Yeah, they're saying, okay,
yep.
You want some? Come get some.
Can you say the Miami game again too? Because that's your 0-2 angle also.
Yeah, I got it. It's they have Cavaliers minus 3.5 in the first half. Other books have 1.5.
That's right. Yep. Will Hill, Caesars, DK. Yep, 1.5. That starts the day tomorrow. Again, it won both won yesterday, with Memphis coming out shooting the lights out, and then they blow the 29-point lead. But it's 13-17 first quarter and 14-16 first half now. You're betting the home team in Game 3 down 0-2.
Wow. Well, what do you want to do?
It's a Celtics game tough. Number one, I like Porzingis rebounds over. Okay, now it's off the board. Is Tatum playing? What's going on? Now they just took the game off the board.
Are they really? Here.
So now
I'll get an update.
There's something going on with this game. But I understand the under money again here and why the total's low. Sure. Number one, everyone knows this, but it's worth repeating. The game slows down big time in the playoffs. Okay. Also, what do you got?
I have an update in the last 30 seconds. Tatum is available.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown is available. Drew Holiday has been ruled out.
Holiday out?
Holiday is out.
Okay. So now, was 5. Now we're up to 6. Where's that?
That's here at Circa.
6. They're up to 6. All right.
Yep.
Good job. Just went to 6. But it goes back to you have the pace slowing down. The officials are letting them play. They're swallowing the whistle. No one's getting to the line. And a lot of fans are upset about it, people who cover the league. You also have the slowest pace team here in Orlando and a top 5 defense in Boston and the number 2 defense in the Magic as well. But Game 2 went over, which was a surprise after a 5-point move. But now this kind of changes things with Tatum. Orlando just doesn't have enough offensively. So I would look at Porzingis rebounds over and also Banchero points over. They don't have anything with their injuries too. They just don't have enough guys that can score.
Right.
So Boston's like, okay, well, you 2 guys want to take all the shots. Be my guest. And we attempted and made the most threes in NBA history. At some point, we're going to get ours.
I'm going to make a bet right now on the Celtics first half. And it's moving so rapidly. There, I got it in. I tried to get minus 125 on the money line. I got minus 140.
Oh, good. Okay. Because this also goes back to you have to learn from your mistakes and the previous mistakes you've made. This is a war of attrition, too. Don't mess around. Get the broom out. Get the rest. OKC's got to learn this, too.
Yeah, right.
Get the rest and let these other teams go 6-7 games, and you can sit around and put your feet up. Because it looks like this could be a long series with the Knicks and the Pistons, and it's physical, and these teams don't like each other. Go out, sweep Orlando, and put your feet up.
Right. And now that I did that, I want to see if I can come back and play the Magic at plus 3.5 in the first half.
Did the total move 5 points, too, now, as a result?
Yeah.
It was 196, right? Or am I seeing things? I got 201 now. Is that correct? Okay. So now
it's got to go up because of that bump there with Tatum. Yeah, 201's now the number.
It's 5-point move in the total.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. But unlike everything we're talking about here with the low-scoring games, and the one outlier has been Indiana-Milwaukee, where Milwaukee has no answers for what Indiana can do offensively, and it's a tough matchup. And to more my point, Freak is averaging 35, 15, and 4 in the series, yet he's a minus 29 when he's on the floor. But this is the one angle where I like, and you get the big tax.
Well, hold on. Say that again. Yep. He's minus 29 when he's on
minus 29. They're minus. They've been outscored by 29 points when he's on the floor. Yet he's averaging 35, 15, and 4. And then you had that incredible stat earlier. Wow. I think they've lost 9 straight playoff games with him or something. When he's that crazy.
Last 6 games they've lost.
Yeah, and look at his numbers.
His numbers are like 35, 17, and 50+% shooting.
Yeah.
He dominates everybody, but they lose games.
Yeah, right.
His rebound prop for tonight is 12.5.
He's $7 at DraftKings to have the most points, rebounds, and assists in the game. 35, 17, and 6, shooting 53%. Yet they're 0-6.
You know what? What's Halliburton? Because he can have a game where it's like
points, rebounds, and assists?
Yes. To the most I'm talking about.
I got to go to game leaders.
So because in theory, that guy could go out there tonight and throw up 28 points, 15 assists, and grab 9 boards, and then be in contention.
He's 16-1.
Oh, that's come on.
Yeah.
16.
Oh no, that's most points. Sorry. Okay. Damn it, my fault. My fault. Got to go on. I got it here. He's 15. Yeah, okay, 15-1.
15-1 most PRA.
Most PRA, he's 15-1.
I got to get his game log.
He is now up to minus 750. Lillard's 11-1. Halliburton's 15. Siakam's 25. They have no answer for that guy, too. I come right back with his points over. They've had no answer for Siakam.
How about Nembhard, too? 17 points in the first 2 games. 10.5 is the point prop tonight?
Yeah, right. I don't know what to do with Kuzma props because Doc is supposed to sit him, and the fan base is furious. He's supposed to play Porter more as well. But then again, I'm asking Doc to make an adjustment. And his press conference was bizarre after game 2.
Okay, so far in the series, Halliburton is averaging like 34 PRA. That won't get it done. But can he have an outlier where he goes for 48 or 49?
Everyone knows about the poll, most overrated player.
Sure. He's playing like he's pissed off about that.
Right. And the Dame Halliburton rivalry is awesome.
And maybe there is a situation here where Giannis can dial back the scoring a little bit tonight and get everybody else involved, where his numbers could be...
That guy's going to be open.
It could be 23 points, 12 boards, and 10 assists, which is an unbelievable game. But Halliburton might be in striking range.
Could be a blowout. That's the one angle. It could screw this whole thing up. But I just think he knows I have to carry this team and how he sees this, and I just have to dominate, and they have no answer for me either. And I got to score 40.
I don't hate Giannis triple-double tonight.
No, right. And Joker got there too last night.
Yeah.
Now, some of this with the home run props. I mean, you're talking plus 140 with Joker, but he got there as well. And the late one tonight, as good as it gets. So I wanted to see the adjustments that the Knicks were going to make, right? And a good job by Brunson. But it's just you can't just have one guy dominating the ball and the other guy standing around. And I'm not there with the Trae Young Harden comparisons, but other people are outraged by how he's playing and foul hunting. I'm talking about Brunson. But I love what the Knicks did yesterday. Towns went off. OG went back to being OG, what he was doing. Bridges got involved. All those guys chipped in and scored 20. What do the Lakers do now? I mean, are we still going to do ISO ball here? Or is it going to be, because the Luka stuff in Dallas was awesome, but he didn't have a lot of help. He's got plenty of help. He's got Reeves and he's got LeBron. So I want to see what Redick does and the changes that Finch makes, knowing that the Lakers haven't done anything offensively. They've scored 94 and 95 points so far, yet the series is tied at 1. I don't think this ISO ball, let's go after and attack Gobert, is going to work. And Minnesota's going to come out on fire tonight. Well, so I like the Timberwolves, not only the series, but I really like the Wolves to win tonight, too.
Hold on, though, because what is your personal opinion of J.J. Redick as a head coach?
High. I think he's good.
There you go. Then you have to fully trust him that he'll find something on tape again. And they made awesome adjustments in game 2 to begin the game. They did not
defensively.
Defensively, yes.
Yes. Now I'm talking offense, but
sure, he'll find it and he'll make it work. I think J.J. Redick has a chance to be an excellent coach in this league. I think he's shown that multiple times throughout the regular season and now early in the playoffs. I trust him to make adjustments here for this game.
You do not trust the Lakers' depth and bench, though.
Oh, how can you?
Okay, so this is where the supporting cast and the role players always perform at a higher level at home.
Yeah.
Because I know you don't think Vincent and these other guys can give you much, and then maybe it's this.
Oh, they can, but I can't rely on that.
Yep. Betting on sports, why not try the races? First Bet lets you wager on hundreds of horse races every day, top tracks across the U.S. and around the world. Sign up firstbet.com, promo code VSIN200. Claim a 20% rebate for your first 60 days up to $200. Head to firstbet.com today.
Dennis Bernstein on the program coming up next. Covers the NHL for SiriusXM and the fourthperiod.com. Should we expect the Oilers to make this interesting against the Kings from a betting perspective?
This is Follow the Money on VSIN.
It's a solid night again tonight on ice and this weekend. NHL playoffs continue. They're awesome as always. We head out here to the Progressive Guest Line. As a longtime friend of the show, Dennis Bernstein joins the program now, does a great job, has for a long time covering the NHL on SiriusXM and also the fourthperiod.com. DB, good afternoon. How are you?
Doing great. Ready for Game 3 here in Edmonton. I expect a desperate Edmonton Oilers team tonight to try to get back into the series. But, the first 2 games, Kings, 12 goals, 5 power play goals, 50% power play execution. Those are Edmonton Oilers numbers.
Yes.
Not Kings numbers. It's going to be a very intriguing game tonight here at Rogers Place.
Yeah, so you're up there in Edmonton for this game, and you do cover the league in general, but obviously you live in L.A., so the Kings probably closer than any other team in the league. I mean, this has been kind of a shocking result. I know the Kings are very good, but to see the Oilers get blasted like this, not really used to seeing that. Can they make this interesting, the series, at all from a betting perspective? Like, are they going to win a couple of games here? Or is this just a one-sided affair?
I can't fathom, Mitch, that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will get swept in 4 games. So, yeah, I picked them in 6. Might be trending towards 5. I don't think it's a sweep. I think they'll find a way. Certainly, they got to get the power play on track because they haven't scored a power play goal in the series. Now, are you going to keep them off the board every single game? No. So I got to think they're going to summon something deep, dig deep, and win this game tonight. I don't think they'll win both games. So I think they'll go back to LA with the chance for the Kings to clinch it. But something's going on in Edmonton when they change goaltenders for tonight because a lot of people thought Stuart Skinner, and you can't blame Stuart Skinner. They don't play good defense, the Oilers, and so that's why you could blame it on Skinner. But going to Calvin Pickett tonight is a major change for Chris between the pipes for Edmonton tonight.
You don't like the move? I agree with what you said earlier. I was wondering if there would be a goalie change to shake up the team. But, I mean, they handed the sloppy turnovers in their own zone. It's 3-2 in the last game. They handed to the Kings on a silver platter to make it. They can't stay out of the box. So it's interesting. What do you think of the change then?
I don't think it makes a difference if they're going to play defense the way they played in the first 2 games, Pauly.
Okay.
Yep. It's been atrocious. It's been so many turnovers. And the undersold part of the series is when Matthias Ekholm got hurt the next to last game of the season when he came back. That tipped the series for me. He's their best defenseman. He keeps Bouchard out of trouble. And now they played Narson Bouchard in the first 2 games. It didn't work. And, they gave up 12 goals in 2 games. Like this goal, he's going to have to stand on his head, and maybe he can do it, but he's not a Vezina winner, and neither is Stuart Skinner. That was a weak link, and you want to go back to the trade deadline. A lot of people worried in Edmonton about not getting another goaltender, and now you see why. Because Skinner hasn't been good, and if they play the same type of defense, Pauly, it's going to be 3-0 Kings late tonight here in Edmonton.
Yeah, it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Dennis Bernstein. Hold tight here, Dennis. We're going to try to reconnect in a second. He's with SiriusXM, the NHL coverage, and also fourthperiod.com. You bet the Kings, yesterday? Was it to win the West or to win
to win a cup?
To win the cup?
Oh, I had them before the series, and they win and I keep getting helped out by what's going on in the bracket. The West could be wide open here
Absolutely,
now.
And
I love this Kings team.
Yeah. I look at this break that you might be getting here. Now, careful what you wish for, but the way things are trending right now with the Golden Knights in the Wild, that could be kind of a dreamy scenario there for the Kings.
Yes, and also what they're doing offensively. So while this won't continue on the power play, if they're going to do this offensively, and the interesting angle tonight, also first period. Remember, 21 of the last 24 games, they haven't allowed a first period goal.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing with how well they played since the deadline in the year Kemper had.
What do you think of DB's theory there? You can grab the Kings in 5 games at plus 250. Gentleman sweep? I think what he said, it made some sense, right? I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl are so good that it's really tough to see this team getting swept. And Dennis Bernstein is there now. Pauly, by the way, we were just talking about this. He bet them recently at 10-1 to win the whole thing. What are your thoughts on that?
On the Oilers?
No, the Kings.
Oh, no. Oh, Kings, good bet. Now, here's the thing. They could get to the conference final. They don't match up well against Dallas or Colorado. Right? They can beat Winnipeg. Mm-hmm. Dallas and Colorado, I'm not sure about. But it's not a bad bet. It's a better bet than betting on Vegas right now to win a cup. I'll tell you that much.
How about that? Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So the way that's shaking out right now, and we talked about this with Adam Hill earlier, who covers the Golden Knights. They're down, and they have not been close to the better team in this series. That's been all Wild, in my opinion. It's played out like that. And now it's like almost a pick 'em to win the series. You think the Golden Knights come back and win this thing?
Maybe. I want to see game 4. Here's the thing. I'll tell you about this team, about Minnesota. Like, if Kirill Kaprizov played the entire season, 82 games, he would have won the Hart. He would have been the MVP. He was the MVP when he got hurt 20 games in. Mm-hmm. They had the best record in the league 20 games in. This is not a mirage. This is not some miracle. They were a really good team. They're getting goaltending. And you know what? Vegas is a really strong team. But they look old. They look slow. Mark Stone hasn't done anything. Yep. Right? Now you change goaltenders in that series. You went to, this could be an upset. And look, I'm the guy who I think I had Vegas 5. I was convinced they were going to go to the conference final. I'm not convinced anymore. Minnesota's poked holes in this team. It's going to be really tough for this team to bounce back. And the thing is, Minnesota's not a great home team, but they played great at home because not only Kaprizov came back, but Arison Ek. This is a very, very different Minnesota Wild team that we saw for half the season. And it's because of the two guys back in the lineup.
You were high on Tampa. You weren't the only one. I mean, several people picked them to win the East. They're down 0-2 now as well. What do you think about their chances bouncing back?
Stunning outcome the first two games. Yep. I had Tampa and Colorado in the Cup final. I'm not looking so good. And I had the Rangers back in the day in October to win the Cup. So my predictions have been crap, to be honest with you, Pauly. Stunning outcome. Because you know what? Florida looked tired. They looked beat up down the stretch. They were 3-6-1 in their last 10. I'm like, oh, this is going to be – I picked Tampa in 5. But it shows you what quality championship players can do when it gets to game 83. And now they add Marchand right now.
Yep.
And Barkov getting knocked out by Hagel might affect it. But this is I credit the team, and I certainly credit Paul Maurice. It's the reason why they won the Cup last year. Great players and great coach. It's been a coaching clinic by Maurice. They shut out Tampa at home the other night, Pauly. That doesn't happen to that team. It's been a great effort, and for me, a stunning effort by the Florida Panthers.
Do you get anything tonight from Montreal and New Jersey to try to make this a series?
Yeah, I think the Habs win at Bell Center. I think this is the game they win. New Jersey, Pauly, dump a lot of money on Carolina. They're the worst home team in the playoffs. I think they were under 500. I think they won 19 out of 41 games at home. They don't have Jack Hughes. They scored, 2 goals? No, they're done. They're cooked. No. I would bet a sweep at this point in time. I think they're done. I think they're cooked. But the Habs, they'll win this game, but it's a consolation prize. They will not win it. They'll go out in 5.
Excellent. Well, you can get even money, by the way, Carolina in regulation.
Even money tonight.
At that $1.05, even in that range. Yeah, you don't want to lay the $1.70. Yeah.
Pound that.
Pound that.
You love it. Good. Okay. Good.
Well, I'll tell you this, by the way. If we get the teams that are currently leading their series in the Eastern Conference to the next round of the semis, the Eastern Conference semis are going to be as good as I can remember. They're good every single year, don't get me wrong, but this year the possible matchups are outstanding, Dennis.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They're talking about the Maple Leafs not winning since 67. This is a different team. And again, coaching. In the past, when the Leafs were up 3-1 in a game in the playoffs, they try to make it 4-1 or 5-1. Not with Craig Berube. Hey, guys, you're going to protect the 2-goal lead. You're not going to go for your cookies. This is not about scoring goals. It's not about pretty plays. It's about playing defense. Right? It's not cookie night.
Yeah.
Like, this is a dangerous, dangerous team. So if you want to make a bet right now on the Leafs winning the Cup, as crazy as that sounds, because nobody's ever and I didn't trust them. Right? I picked Ottawa in 6 because I don't trust that team in the playoffs. But when I watch them play, it's a very different style of play. Guys, it's a style of play that wins in the playoffs. They finally figured out that's how you have to play in those games against Ottawa. They're a very dangerous team. They could easily come out of the East. And you're right, Mitch. The conference, the semifinals in the East could be really, really good here this year.
I hope you're right about that, and you're allowed to change your mind as well. Less than 2 minutes. We both were on vacation last week. I saw Von Tobel and Humans had you on. I didn't recognize you. How did you lose all this weight?
You know those GLP shots and drugs that like Ozempic and stuff? I went on them in October, and I've lost 40 pounds. I was 215. I carried the weight well. It didn't look like I was overweight. I lost 40 pounds. It basically is a miracle drug that basically curbs your appetite. And it's been – and you know what? I did blood work beforehand and blood work afterwards. And my blood work's like a 25-year-old. My
really?
Everything is great. My blood pressure's down. Yeah, my cholesterol's way down. It's been amazing. It doesn't work for everybody, but it certainly worked for me. And if you're having challenges with your weight control, I would certainly advocate trying it out. And I've had no side effects, no headache, nothing. It's been a miracle for me. And I thank my wife because she started it. I jumped on board because I got some FOMO, but it's been an amazing journey for me over the last 6 months.
All good for you. You look better than ever, man. That's awesome news.
Good job, buddy.
Keep it up.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, but no cravings of like a steak, or you like to eat. No steak, nothing. You don't have any hankerings?
Yeah, no. If I order 8-ounce filet, I'll probably eat half of it.
Oh, wow.
And by the way, tell Mike Palm I don't look like Annie Lennox. And I'm going to challenge him to a Bronx Street Fight at WrestleMania 42.
We'll set that up.
We'll sell tickets to that.
Yeah, we're tied in now to the WWE after they came here for sure. Thanks, my man. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, boys. Always great being on For All the Money.
Enjoy the game, buddy.
Follow him on X at Dennis TFP. Going to be on the coverage all weekend long on Sirius XM NHL as well. In Pocket Plays, what we're betting tonight and this weekend next year on Follow the Money.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Was on coke if his girlfriend was not done.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your unborn children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right, Dennis is there. I'm not yet, but a loser. Another good game. Again, Toronto wins in overtime, 3-2. Blues ice cream. It's just stomped on the Jets from the get-go, 3-0 in the first. And they blow out Winnipeg and score 7 times. Imagine you order a petite filet, you can't finish it? How about that feeling? Wow. Great job, Dennis.
Imagine ordering a full pizza and only having like a half of a slice and saying, I'm good.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Another thing, too.
Yeah.
1 shot a week, he said. He gets a shot a week.
Huh.
That does it. Kings to win the series, plus $1.10. Pistons to win the series, 2-1. Pacers to win the East, 19-1. Cavs have got to do a better job defensively, and Indiana's got a top 5 record in the league since January 1st. Kings to win the Cup, 10-1. Again, other teams losing around them in the West. The bracket could open wide. The bracket could really open up here. Right back with Cavs Heat over tomorrow morning. Every game has gone over this year, all 5 between these teams, and they are hunting hero. It's the number 1 offensive team in the league. And you're hunting hero and you're getting any look you want, and they're knocking down threes. On the other side, they can't guard hero, and they're doing a bad job defensively. Case in point, they almost blew a 19-point lead at home for Game 2. Minnesota Wild to win the series. We'll see if there's a goaltending.
Oh, you're on it,
coming.
huh?
I am. It doesn't look. You can't give up 10 goals in back-to-back games as well. And Dennis did a good job breaking it down as well. I think the price is right in the $1.10 range, $1.15 range as well. I'm going Bucks first half, and I'm going Bucks money line for the game. It's a bad matchup, but I think this is the 1-0-2 trend. I will back the home team here, and at least for the time being, try to save the season. Ottawa tonight. Ottawa over the weekend, Game 4. I like what they said after the game. They won't quit. They'll keep fighting. What Green said after they lost another overtime thriller to Toronto. And I really like Montreal tonight. Montreal 10-0-2 to close the season at home. Their first home playoff game with full fans since 2017. They outplayed Washington in Game 2. Thompson was awesome. I think Montreal saves their season tonight and gets the win. And right back with Hero over 3s, over 2.5 made 3s tomorrow. He's going to take a bunch. And I trust him to make them as well, as the Cavs do a better job closing out and playing defense. And I think this is all you need to know.
I might ladder Hero.
That's not bad either, because the attempts will be there. The Knicks were great offensively, and they made the adjustments, and it was, let's not stand around in a corner and watch Brunson hunt and take all these shots. 4 guys scored 20 or more. They look great offensively. They won the game. But the 2-point game. Pistons lane 2 now on Sunday. I think a big effort here out of the Pistons, and that place was rocking. That was a good atmosphere as well. I think the Pistons tie that series at 2 on Sunday.
I'm looking right now at this Celtics Magic number here at Circa. The first half, still Boston -1. -1. There's
Really?
6 for the game. -130 money line.
Wow.
I laid 140.
Yep, and I'm with Dennis as well. Carolina in regulation. He is right. New Jersey had all kinds of issues at home, even though they were a playoff team. Hard to overcome all these injuries. And Carolina, much the best. Same situation last year. This is a 5th straight first round. They've led 2-0. They went into New York and won Game 3 as well. I think Carolina in regulation to beat New Jersey tonight.
All right, we'll recap. Good luck, Pauly. Nice run. Keep it going. All right, the bets from last night. I really needed, Golden or Barron to come in for me. They didn't. Barron did on the one. I'll explain that in a minute. But the losers first here. Barron, under 18.5 plus 150. No good. Closing line value in a draft. You love to have it. Ay. Golden first receiver. No good. Dolphins first drafted position O-line. No good. Travis Hunter, bet this back in October. I can vividly recall saying on the air, I don't want him to win the Heisman. I want him to win, to be the first pick in the draft. Good job, buddy. There you go.
Yeah.
No good. And the Nationals yesterday couldn't score. That was a loser.
That was ridiculous.
Man, I'd still play minus 110 every single time.
Yeah.
Packers, that came in last night. First drafted position, wide receiver 6-1. Barron was the first defensive back without Travis Hunter, plus 120. That was a good one. And O'Neal Cruz did smack a home run. You know what I should have done? That was a half a unit at plus 375. He was leading off last night. It would have been a nice addition to have him to hit the first home run of the game. Well, that would have made some sense.
Yeah, okay.
And Grizzlies first half plus 6.5 last night, minus 144. That got there. That was a winner. The new plays. This is for tomorrow. Documented this earlier in the show. The Warriors are in a current stretch of where they're getting absolutely manhandled on the glass. And the Jimmy Butler injury, not good there. They also just don't have size. And so big fellas down low, and this goes all the way back a good 5-6 games, but specifically against the Rockets, they're killing them on the glass. I got to go Steven Adams over 5.5. He's been good going over that number recently anyway. And I got to go Sengun over 10.5 plus 105, who's been dynamite going over that number in recent games, especially against Golden State. This is a 2-unit play tonight. Twins on the run line plus 110. Talked about this earlier. It's a travel nightmare for the Angels. They played a night game last night. They did not get to Minneapolis until like 4:30, past 4:30 this morning. They're probably going to get to bed like around 6. The players were chirping about this. The team, they were angry about this going back to, I think, Wednesday night / Thursday morning. Plus, the Twins had to bump this game up to avoid traffic problems because the Wolves are hosting the Lakers around the same time. So it's, you hear this a lot of times like in the NFL or the NBA, baseball as well. You just have schedule losses, right? Sometimes there's nothing you can do. I think that hopefully, I'm betting on this anyway. Tonight's one of those games. And I have the Twins with Lopez taking on Hendricks minus the 1.5. And I'm betting Giannis. He can't be stopped. Triple-double tonight plus 425. Let's go.
I like it. Minus 750. Have the most PRA in the game.
I got to look at that again.
Incredible.
And that's that Caesars, you said? Will Hill?
The 750?
Yeah.
That's DraftKings.
That's DraftKings for most PRA.
But a lot of places have that.
Yeah, okay.
For the entire series and game leaders. Profit X, offering the best odds all baseball season long. Profit X, a peer-to-peer sport exchange, available in 40-plus states, the first of its kind in the U.S. You'll be able to make your sports picks against other groups of fans rather than against other books. Exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download Profit X today, code VSiN. Earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. Get it, baseball fans, and get that money in profit cash at Profit X. Henderson is now minus 420 to go 33rd at FanDuel. Sanders is minus 220 to go to the Raiders.
And they're picking 5th overall tonight. That's not going to be, we'll know what the Raiders are going to do within the next, 45 minutes? Because it goes from 10 minutes per pick. Is it 5 minutes per pick in the second round? I always forget that.
I think it's 5.
So it's going to be, we'll know exactly what's going to happen. And if he doesn't go there. Now, by the way, the Steelers are right behind the Raiders to take Shedeur Sanders. They're plus 290. They have now slid ahead of the Browns. Browns are plus 340. So news must be getting out potentially here that the Browns, and they have 2 picks right away tonight, probably won't go Sanders. From what I gather, the wide receiver Higgins is going to go 34th overall. He was 23-1 earlier today. At the beginning of the show, he was minus 190. This stuff it's like McMillan yesterday.
Yeah.
Did we once even talk about McMillan going 8th overall? And then as soon as the show ends and the draft starts, I look at this, Scheme comes in, and he was all of a sudden the favorite to go 8th.
I thought that would have been Walker. Walker, right?
Yeah, Walker, yeah.
Yep.
The team to draft Jalen Milroe. Browns are now below 2-1. I think they were earlier today. The Saints are plus 230. What were the Seahawks earlier?
3-1.
Okay. They're in that range right now.
Mm-hmm. You don't like my Sanders to Miami?
Now, I think they have so many other parts.
Even though
that
what
they have to fill.
Schefter expects it to be a team out of left field?
Well, then that would certainly fit. Huh? The Jets would fit, right?
Not bad, yeah.
The Rams to take, I'll throw Milroe in there. The Rams to take Sanders or Milroe.
Not bad.
I could see that happening. But like the Browns and Steelers desperately need a quarterback. You cannot sit here and have Aaron Rodgers hold you hostage until June or July and say, yeah, we're good with Mason Rudolph. It's not okay.
No.
Fan base should be livid about that. And by the way, what do we hear going back to last year during the regular season? Mike Tomlin has a lot of control and a lot of say in the draft pick. And according to every single report, Mike Tomlin has been a big fan of Shedeur Sanders. So.
And the Dart thing came down too. And that all that steam was correct. We went off a 230 favorite to be the second quarterback selected. And then $1.30 to go to the Giants.
All right. Good night tonight in sports. Good weekend as well.
Go get it. Good luck.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Prime time's coming up next. Great 4 hours of programming. Then the Sports Gambling Podcast. Great show. 11 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.